All right, welcome to the Esports Next official podcast. My name is Adam Josh. I'll be your host today. Today, who do we have here with us?
My name is Williams IV. I'm based here in Chicago. I'm the founder of EBNEsports. We're a live production and streaming company. We've done some huge Overwatch tournaments and stuff like that, but mostly my experience has been 20 years in the industry. So
Fantastic. And you also said that you were a DJ and MC. Tell me a little bit about that, because I
so
am also one.
yeah. So funny, like kind of how I got into this, just in general, is just I've been a part of events and live events and hospitality. I say events and hospitality for over 2 decades. I started as a DJ, started as an MC, worked in conventions, anime conventions, comic book conventions, and stuff like that. And then I retired. I quit the game. I was like, you know what? There's not much else. But then this Twitch thing came along, and then I was like, all right, this I understand how it works. I understand how everything works, and so I dived into that hardcore. And so I still do that for my channel. And then I have my channel, and then I got into bigger esports during the pandemic. So that stuff. Most of my expertise is on audio, obviously, right? Like I had to learn the video side of the world, but hey, it gives me a huge advantage. Like especially when I do stuff. I worked at Evo, for example, was one of the biggest fighting game tournaments, and I was like the audio engineer for that. So it was
You
crazy.
audio engineered Evo. Was that the one last year?
Yeah,
Okay, yeah, I was watching that.
yeah,
That was good.
yeah.
And it sounded good. I actually work in events as an audio guy too, and I'm a DJ and MC, and now got into esports. So you're like telling my story. So this is
Welcome,
great.
welcome.
Yeah, well, no, it's how you get in. Obviously, you have to
Yeah,
be a DJ and MC first, and
yeah.
then you also have to
Obviously,
Twitch. There's only one path out there, people.
yeah. There's only one. Only one.
No, there's more than one, but this is amazing. I mean, it's so nice to meet someone else like-minded. So, where was it all? Was DJing the first thing that you did to branch out into all these different industries?
No, not really. Like most of my passion for esports kind of came from the fighting game community. I had a friend of mine who runs one of the largest one of the largest convention. I say convention, but like it was a tournament at the time. It's called Frosty Faustings. It's also based here locally in Chicago. It's usually out in the suburbs. One of my friends from college, was like he was one of the best players in the world for Guilty Gear, and he's founded this tournament in Chicago, and then I got involved in that. So like there's a whole long story associated with it, but basically I got my start there, and then from there I was like, wait a minute, like I can do this with a PC and a webcam. That was the part that got me the most. Like I mean,
Yeah.
I've worked in broadcasting, I've been part of large teams, and I'm like, wait a minute, I like somebody was sitting with just like we're doing right now, a laptop. A webcam and a microphone, and they're running this huge tournament. I'm like, how are you doing this? And so
Yes.
that led to more curiosity. From there, I also got like some of it is luck, some of it's passion, but from there, I worked at Evo that year, got into bigger stuff, and then really took off during the pandemic. So like during the pandemic, obviously, like I was traveling the world, I was doing all this stuff for different places. Until so it's funny we're here. I don't know how much more to pontificate. I can stop.
Oh, please.
But here we hosted the Intel Extreme Masters tournament from ESL, and they actually hosted it here. So I got a chance to work with some of the best Counter Strike teams in the world here in Chicago. And so from there, I was supposed to do stuff in Germany. I got invited to Germany, and then the pandemic happens, and then all of a sudden it's like, well, all this work that I had and all this passion that I had is all gone. And then I said, okay, look, I want to be part of Overwatch. I said, screw this noise. So I saw that game come out, and then I met some of the community there, and I decided to run a tournament in Overwatch. And from there, we ran one of the largest Overwatch tournaments and over amateur Overwatch tournaments during the pandemic. And from there, met a whole bunch of our friends and passions. So now I just like all these people are like my friends. Like I see people on the Overwatch broadcast, see people on the Riot Games Valorant broadcasts, and most of these people worked with me or come through our program or something along those lines. And so I'm very proud of that. And and it's so nice to see that. And then now I'm here. Like now we have this Esports Next conference in Chicago. I didn't even know existed. And then I
Yeah.
ran into Megan, at another conference, and it's like, you should come here. And I'm like, wait, this is here in Chicago?
This is the thing. Yeah.
Come on, let's go.
This is the like home place of it. So I came last year and it was fantastic.
Yeah.
And I've been volunteering for them for the past probably over a year now, which has been wild. And I've loved it so much. And it's such a great community to be a part of. Megan is an amazing person.
Yeah.
And she's a great connector of people. And John is a fantastic visionary. they really put this together nicely, and you can see this is the fruits of their labors. They get lots of help from this amazing community, but it's great to have a resource like this. It feels like coming home. Like,
Oh yeah.
oh, other people are into this, and oh, other people also see the potential and the future of this before it happens. And year after year, things we check off like things on our accomplishment list, and we get to see it grow from the ground up, which is really exciting.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, one of the big things that I also noticed too is like most of it is most of it aligns with kind of like the Hollywood industrial complex, right? So either you have to be in California or in New York or whatever, but there's a lot of stuff here. I mean, like we've had one of the
Yeah,
biggest gaming centers in Ignite Gaming Lounge in Chicago, and then like it moved up to Evanston at this point. But like the thing is, like we have a lot of stuff here, a lot of stuff going on here. And dare I say it, like one of the, we were the founders of like pinball and arcade games, and that's kind of the other side of my passion was that like I wanted to do that. I wanted to be a game programmer, but like just kind of got lost along the way. So I'm still a software engineer now, but like the thing is like now I run into Ed Boon, like the Mortal Kombat, another realm, like just on occasion. And he's a really cool guy, but like these are people that I idolized as a kid myself, and so like it still blows my mind to this day that I'm walking amongst giants, walking amongst legends and stuff like that, and they're all friendly people. Like I like everybody that I meet in this industry is extremely friendly, and the higher you go,
yes,
the better they treat you and everything. And so, because we all want to be like another great example of this is like Walshy. He's a Halo legend and stuff like that. He's also one of my best friends, and he's done some charity work, and he was just here in Chicago a couple weeks ago playing some arcade games. So like this community runs deep. There's very tight connections, but like don't sleep on the Midwest people. There's a lot of stuff going on around here.
that's right. Yesterday they declared it a official esports day.
Man, I missed that. Man, I'm so salty I missed that right now because I was like,
Yeah.
that was cool.
Well, as long as you know that it happened,
Yeah.
it's pretty special and it's pretty exciting. It was also Megan's birthday, and it was also the first day of the conference. And it's like very exciting that it's really being recognized at that level, and they see that this is the future. And I'm so excited about it.
Yeah, for sure.
I want to go back to and ask you more about DJing and MCing.
Yes, just
So,
for sure. Go for
what
it.
kind of music do you DJ?
So most of my music is so. The reason why I'm laughing is because like I've gone through these whole phases and rebrands and stuff like that, but like a kind of
Right.
where I'm at right now is like straight up Chicago house music. Like I am definitely like and again I went through this phase of like I was doing just pop and all stuff like that. I started off as a wedding DJ actually.
Yeah, I've done that.
And that was where I got my start. But like so like I discovered music through that. So it's to the point now that I don't listen to the radio because everybody tells me about like pop music, and I'm like, listen, I listen to Ricky Martin and Britney Spears 3 times a weekend. I can't take it. By the way, number one song that I will always ban from a wedding is Shania Twain's. No, it's not. Is it?
What's the
It's
song?
it's Shania Twain's. I want to say from this moment on, but I think
From this moment.
yes, please.
On.
Yeah, no, the duet version was everybody's first song in like the early 2000s, and I'm just like, no, do not play the song again. It was to the point somebody played the song in a cab once, and I was like, can you just turn it off, please? I'll give you an extra $20 to turn this off. Anyway, I'm
Yeah, yeah. That
uh,
I wouldn't say anything about someone's song. If it's their song, then you gotta
I know, but just like no, thank you, no, not anymore. But anyway, but yeah, like started there, and then I was working in anime conventions and stuff like that. And so
yeah.
like the burgeoning J-pop scene, like so I find it also very ironic now, like K-pop is kind of like also crossed over because that was another very niche thing or whatever. Like no one knew that whole entire scene, but they were all always singing their songs in English in certain point. So like but anyway, so like yeah, I went that route, and then I also went to like this very fast, very like people consider it jungle, but also like it's like speedcore, very fast stuff. And then like I said, then I had another epiphany, and I just said, nope, I'm just gonna stop this because this is getting too loud and too crazy. And then I found house again, and like I liked it the entire time, but I just never knew like where it was, and again. We're talking about legends. Like I met all the DJs. I met all like B96, WGCI. Like I met all those people out in the field, and I was like, "This is crazy,"
Yeah. It's
And
amazing where it
so,
can take you.
yeah, for sure. And so, Like I wish I could do it a little bit more often than I do now, but like I have other responsibilities. But like when I was younger, I was like, yeah, like all stuff. Like I basically got engrossed in the entire history of it all. And whenever they do the House Music Festival in Daily Plaza, I'm there, the chosen few DJs. I'm there for that, and like I know people that work for that show as well. So like yeah, yeah, House is a big influence in my life. And then I can go in other genres. I can do other stuff. Like a lot of the technology. Like I remember like carrying turntables and CDJs and all of other equipment, and then I see these kids walking to a show, just like I said, like right now, literally with a laptop
That's all you need.
and a mixer, and I'm like, wow, and I'm just like, can we like, and I always want to like guys, remove all that. You need to understand and be one with the sound, man. You can't like this stuff is a crutch, right? Kind of deal. But hey, it makes our profession more accessible, and that was kind of the other thing too, right? It's like it was a very huge investment on my end, and so. But yeah, no, definitely, definitely house, and I still have a lot of that stuff, a lot of the records too, which is just absolutely insane to me. And then yeah, just depending, like I have been tempted to get back into it, or at least I'm doing it on Twitch and I'm doing this, occasionally, but like I want to take it seriously again and kind of like get into the thing. But like also the world's kind of moved over to like podcasts and and producers and things like that. You kind of have to create your own music. You have to create your own sound. You can't just like mix other people's music these days. You have to kind of like be known for something else and so. But regardless, it's still fun. It's a nice passionate hobby. As it were.
That's right. Yeah, I personally like playing everything. Like, I have no kind of like, no, I won't play that. I just like exploring different music. I like learning about new music. I love, like, I grew up on old music. Everything is kind of on the table for me. So that I think is kind of my specialty. I do a lot of like corporate events.
Nice.
So I'm always mixing with different people and seeing what they like and seeing what works with them. And then, you learn so much. And the great thing about music is you'll never be done
No,
exploring it.
no.
And then rediscovery is an amazing thing too.
Yeah.
Just like when an album hits again, you like remember, oh, there's that how I felt when I first heard it. I can still feel it, but that's great. So do you think there's a way to combine DJing, MCing, and gaming?
Yeah, I mean, like there's a lot of like I will say there's a lot of innovation in the space. The biggest the biggest drawback though is kind of like the licensed music space and stuff like that.
That's all.
And it's funny because you would imagine that the record labels would find some carve out, some whatever, and like there's a dispute over my and this has been going on for ages, right? Like
Yes.
there's the era of the mixtape and it's the battle's never going to end, right? But I will say I remember seeing something very recently about Twitch figuring out a way to get the license and stuff like that. And I don't know what
Please, Twitch.
the
Please, if you
like
hear us.
they have they just released this. They have a DJ category
Yeah.
on Twitch,
Oh, nice.
and I think if I understand this correctly, I think it allows you to play licensed music from all of the big record labels and stuff like that. And I don't know about the VODs, I don't know about the recording stuff like that. So like for example, you could play licensed music on your stream. You're not going to get struck for that, but
You can't clip it.
yeah, you can't clip it. You can't clip it, and so like just like everything else, like you put it out there, and then like later on, if you want to reuse the content. Now, there's other ways around it as well. Like you can broadcast to the Twitch, but then your recording doesn't have the right audio track and all the wonderful stuff. But regardless, I mean, a lot of people are not going to do that, right? And like you imagine Ninja and Drake and all that other stuff, right? But like like Twitch just released that, and I haven't really explored what that means, right? Because I think you can only use it as a DJ category. It's not like a carte blanche license to play music on different things. But I will also say too, like there's also a scene that I would imagine that like it's kind of like a gray area, right? Where it's like it's not licensed music and they're not gonna come after you, but like you're promoting stuff online. So I know there's like DJs that don't play like the popular music, but like within their scenes and their genres, they're putting the stuff online. So it's like, and then also like I said during the pandemic, nobody had anything better to do, right? And so there were a lot of bedroom DJs and people like I see like I've subscribed to a couple of channels and like they just they understand that like they're gonna play this music and no one's gonna they can't clip it or rot or whatever, or maybe they'll record an MP3 and shoutcast it whatever, but like
Yeah.
that's it. So like I think there's a definite future, and like I said, that's the thing that inspires me is that, like, if I could just do that, I don't have to go anywhere. I can do this from home. Like that's one of the benefits of the pandemic is that, like, a lot of stuff's now remote. Like, so a lot of stuff, like even with like live cameras and stuff like that, is like you can do this stuff remotely. Like Riot built this whole multi-million dollar IP TV center in Dublin, Ireland, of all places, and they run their entire global broadcast from there. So it's like it's possible, and I think it's the future, honestly. But like, what makes me sad is like some of the bigger labels, like Insomnia and a couple other people, like Armin van Buren, um, they have their stuff on Twitch. They broadcast on Twitch, but no one watches. So I think that there just needs to be some innovation. I think there's going to be a massive crossover somewhere, and someone's going to figure it out, and they're going to make a lot of money doing it. Kind of deal.
Yeah, I'm personally waiting for all that to happen. I'm glad that you mentioned that there is like
Oh, and
a
Deadmau5
DJ category, because that's what I did over the pandemic. I was like I want to be like a DJ, but like a funny DJ who jokes around with the audience. But I can't do that at a bar. I can do that on the internet. But
Yes.
like, before I thought of it before the pandemic, so I'm like, but why is everyone at home? They're gonna go out to places to see this kind of thing. So when everyone was at home, that's when it flourished for me. And I'm like, okay, I can DJ and I can MC at the same time. I can joke around. I can interact with the audience. Why don't I throw a game into the mix? So I was doing all that. And then I ended up doing events, corporate events, doing like game hosting and DJing and stuff like that. It was great.
That's cool.
But I'm just waiting for the industry to catch up, because I would love to promote all these artists.
Yeah.
And I would love for them to get paid if they figure that out too. It's just like the infrastructure isn't there, but at least, it's nice to know someone else who sees this like gaping hole in the industry where we could fill it up with something fantastic.
Yeah, it's just I understand the need for like live events is our thing, right? Like at the end of the day, we're never going to replace that. And even when like I learned like a while back, like 6 months ago, there's such thing as a Final Fantasy 14 DJ, and like they don't, yeah, they do their thing inside the game, inside of and it's not it's not broadcasted per se, but like you log into the game and people are doing that kind of stuff. So there's an appetite for it, but it's just not huge. And for the people that are involved in that kind of stuff, or the people that watch or engage with it, it's everything to them, right? That's their jam. And I'm like, why would we just had this whole discussion, like, why would you do that in the game when you can just do that online on Twitch and like have the same whatever, like the VR DJs, the avatars, the stuff like that. So like. And of course, being the sci-fi anime geek that I am, I imagine the world that would be a thing too, right? Kind of like I remember when people were talking about the metaverse, like, and how it was going to infect everything. We're going to be walking down the street and it's just going to be like Back to the Future with like like targeted ads and Jaws 3D or whatever the heck it is. But like,
sure, still looks fake.
Yeah, I know. Still, but like, regardless of all that, right? Like, I think that there's an appetite for it. And like I said, someone's going to figure it out, right? But I. Like I mentioned Deadmau5. Like Deadmau5 is the perfect example of like everybody saw him as a music artist, so he's a freaking geek, just like everybody else, And so like he did his thing, and like there was the kind of this intersection of it all, whatever. But like, but like I really think that like I don't know if it's just going to be a change in consumption. I don't know what the turning point or the inflection point is going to be, but like I see the potential of it. The people that are there are engaged in it. Now shows are starting to embrace kind of like you have this live audience and everybody's going to be engaged, but you have this virtual audience. Like even down to like games done quick, which I find hilarious, right? It's like they did all stuff virtual during the pandemic, and then when they run their show, some people don't come into the live thing anymore. They do their thing from home, and then it's seamless to the audience, right? Kind of deal. So I imagine that someone's going to figure it out. It's gonna be really cool, and I hope to be a part of that scene, when it happens too. But like I said, like a lot of things are in the way, but like the natural instincts, like you see, Lollapalooza. I can't imagine Lollapalooza being a virtual event where hundreds of thousands people are watching, but I can't imagine like the individual artist or a show or something along those lines becomes that popular and breaks switch.
That's fantastic. Yeah, I feel like you could have a club, or you could just have a stream of a DJ playing music, so you have something to dance to.
Yep.
And in the background, why not have a game going on, like the Smash Brothers match going on behind you? Then it's a cool visual, and then you're like double entertained. I think something like that could work. Do you think something like that could work?
Oh yeah, I mean I can only imagine um because or even a better example of this, right, is like imagine having a fighting game like Tekken or something like that,
Yeah.
right? And you took it obviously has its own background tracks and stuff like that, but can you imagine someone live mixing to a match that's going
Yeah.
on stage and like they can incorporate whatever they want to into the game because just like you're just turning off the background music in the game. But regardless, I think that would be cool. And like also like with the advent of some technology, you could either time the music or the events or something along those lines. That's what I'm saying. Like I think there's like a level of innovation. Like you could do something where like, oh yeah, this person wants, this person plays their intro music, and like it's all timed and it's all put together. I know some nerds out there are gonna, can already do that now. They kind of like do all the timing stuff like that for their other shows. I mean, I think it's out there. I think it's possible. Like, yeah, but I imagine like kind of like a concert, like kind of like this live concert, and stuff like
Yes.
that. And like, yeah, there's some events that are happening. There's some things that are going on there, like improvisational. But I think the technology could incorporate it all and make it look really cool.
Yeah, why not incorporate like having really good music underneath like gameplay? If the game's in the forefront and the DJing's in the background, or you could do the swap of that. You could do the DJ in the foreground and the game in the background. These are the things that I think about.
Yeah, of
And
course.
I want to see happen, or I can make it happen. But yeah, the licensing thing is the big deal. I also used to work in licensing, so I know how complicated it can be.
Yeah.
And I've even like gone to them and asked like, "Hey, how do I do this?" And like, that doesn't exist yet.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? So I'm excited to see where it could grow. If you were to have all the resources that you needed to do what you want, what would you do?
I mean, if I'm being bluntly honest, like I imagine. So, trying to think of a best visual for this. Like, actually, got one even better. So you know how actually, I just talked about this. There's this old movie. I call it old, but like it was kind of like a thing back in the day. It's called The Lawnmower Man. It had Pierce Bronson in it.
Yes, I just watched that movie.
And I remember like I was always fascinated by that and like Tron and like
Yes.
getting into the game, being a student. It's just like, oh, I am inside the machine and stuff like that. And there really isn't any close experience other than I've seen people do the whole like virtual avatar thing, but like the room is 3D. So the biggest limitation with like 3D at this point, or at least or VR if you want to call it that, is like how much space you have, physical space you have in the room. But I know like one guy that's here, James, I believe, runs the Switch, and I remember he has this uh, huge studio that all it is one big green room and one big like huge space, and like the humans in the and like he's got 3D cameras and stuff like that. So like I want that. I want that in my house. I want like 12-foot ceilings and just enough room, whatever, and I can just be like, right here, I'm sitting at a desk. I'm playing, playing a game, whatever. Oh, there's something going on in my virtual environment, and I'm interacting with it as it goes on, or whatever. I don't know if I'm gonna have to be completely immersed and just be, and I was like, I imagine, like, man, if I just had the Tron suit, especially if I had the, the Tron Legacy suit, oh my god, that would make it amazing.
He's
Like,
so sick.
but and just having something to do all day, every day, and like I could be, live for, like what, 6-7 hours, and then like that's what I would do. Like, I know that I can't be competitive. Like the thing that kills me is like I'm a former competitive Counter-Strike player, and I don't have the reaction speed and stuff like that anymore, right? Like, but I have all this knowledge and history from the game and how it gets played and stuff like that. So I was like, man, could I just do that? And like play Valorant at semi-competitive level in this virtual space or whatever, and then like something's going on behind me. It's like, oh, cool. And then the last thing I'll say is like there was this other show, Gundam, and like and like there's been various iterations of it, but they did make a show called Gundam Build Fighters, where it was the same concept. You control a Gundam just by working in the VR space, and I was so fascinated about that. And like again, the premise of the show is like it's you've got the physical Gunpla toy, and then the toy goes into the game, and the game whatever. And I'm like that to me is like the ultimate levels. Like you can merge those two realities together. I don't know if that's ever going to happen in my lifetime or like by the time I can enjoy it. But like for me, I'm like that would be the ultimate. If I had the resources to do that and just have these live battles and stuff like that, like that would be freaking crazy to me. You know?
You just piqued my interest. That sounds exactly like I've seen Sword Art online, and
Yes.
like, oh, that is cool. Like I want more of that, but season one.
Yeah. I mean, I don't want my life to be on the line as playing an MMO, but
but I want to watch it.
yeah. But like, I would love if that interface was possible, in some way,
Yeah.
shape, or form, in a safe, healthy way.
environment.
Yeah.
So I think starting with the basics, it'd be like projection mapping onto the walls, right?
Yeah.
And then you have a game engine run it so that when you are moving through the environment moves with you
Yep.
because it's tracking you.
Yep.
So say you have 4 sensors on each side of the room that track your movement, and therefore your environment would adjust using Unreal. So I'm thinking of something like, the volume that was created for like making series such as The Mandalorian.
Yeah.
How it's just like it's like tons of like high-end screens that they plug into Unreal Engine, I believe.
Yeah.
And then they have a dynamic environment where the lighting is good, everything looks stellar, and that's something like
Yeah.
that. But for gaming, you're using a gaming engine, you're already halfway there. Make games with it.
Yeah. So like, you should talk to James Corderoy here because like that's what the Switch does. And
I gotta learn about that.
yeah, because they did that with, I guess, with I'm blanking on this right now. It's the 3D gacha game. God, I can't think of it right now. But whatever it is, they did some kind of collaboration with there where like they had because the game was made in Unreal Engine, they were interacting with the characters in real time. And it's just like going on in the background. But like, there was no uncanny valley because the humans that were in the show were in real time, real space, or whatever, right? So like everything's floating around. It's not like you're sitting in a room and like it's very obvious you're green screened in. This place is like, no, it was a physical environment, and the 3D cameras moving and everything's like running along with it. I thought that was insane. And then the other part of it is like you should look like speaking of Sword Art Online. There is a Japanese version of that, right? Where they have like a tower or whatever, and like you got like 4 players, and you're standing in the tower. Like you can't move, right? It doesn't move with you, but like they have like little challenges where you're doing.
I think that's better if you can just stay stationary.
Yeah.
That allows you're not it's not as clumsy, and then if you're not an advanced gamer or you're like a fresh gamer, especially to that experience, then you don't have to like think, should I be like running around and running into walls or.
Yeah.
So I think if the experience comes to you, that's better, whether it be through teleportation or the environment changes based on what you do.
Yeah, I'm gonna find that link because like it's like they have, like, to your point, they have various levels of challenges to that thing or whatever, and there's like apparently this hard raid boss, like all 4 players have to be in sync and know what's going on or whatever for them to get through. And I was like, that's crazy to me. That's absolutely insane. But like that's what I'm saying. Like we're not too far away from that inevitable future. I think
we're so close. And I can smell it.
Yeah, same.
I can't wait for it to happen, but I gotta check out the Switch thing. And you're saying James is here today?
Yeah, James is here. Like he just JD Wu was here last year, and that's what told me he would demonstrate all the technology. But James just joined with them this year, and he's here. So I wanted to talk to him about it. I was like, bro, can I get a job? Like,
yeah.
I guess I got to move out to LA now, but like, can I get a job?
Yeah, that sounds really, really cool. So if you do see him, send him over.
Yeah, I will.
I gotta talk to him about that.
Yeah.
Anything that you want to promote? Anything that you wanted to?
Yeah. So like I said, my name is Will English IV. Everything online for me is Will English IV. And like all socials, all whatever. It's pretty unique. Unfortunately, I don't have anything to promote right now, but there's some stuff in the works. Obviously, Igor Bankovich is here from DuPage County. We're doing. We did the Midwest Esports Invitational here, in Chicago in DuPage County. Well, I say Chicago, but like DuPage County. So we're doing that next year. That's good. It's gonna be in 2025. But outside of that, I mean, like I said, like like I am a free agent at the moment. We're doing a lot of stuff, but just as we all know, the esports winter has kind of come for us all. So we're trying to figure out what our next steps are. But I'm definitely still in still definitely still here. Definitely still believe. And like I said, I think with the things that esports trade association is doing, I think like the future is bright. And so like I'm trying to figure out like what's the next thing, what's going on. So I'm definitely looking forward to that.
That's exciting. I also did want to hear about Evo, your experience with Evo. What was that like? I remember just watching it, and there was that one like they did like the Firefly moment.
Yeah.
When it turns out the lights, they got their phones out. It just
So
magical.
So here's a couple things. First of all, like the first year that I worked at Evo, like almost a decade ago at this point. It's so crazy. Like ESPN came into town. They did the first they did that show, and like I ended up on TV randomly and whatever. And then like the next year, I was on TV because the last American player got limped into top 8 for Street Fighter 5,
Yep.
and it was Li Joe, and now Li Joe is like this superstar guy, whatever, in his whole thing. And then the next year, I got a chance to work on the truck, with ESPN, and like I was on television again. And then they didn't do year 3, unfortunately. But to your point, every year I do it, like it blows my mind that everyone is there and everyone's there to watch it, right? And like I'm standing on the floor of the Mandalay Bay. I'm a kid from the south side of Chicago. It's like, how the heck did I get here? How did
Yes.
like I would have never dreamed of this as a kid. I couldn't even get close. Like the closest thing that I got in memory was like the Wizard, and playing Super Mario Bros. 3 on stage and stuff like that. I'm like, this is never gonna happen. No one's ever gonna believe that this is a thing. And like it was happening.
It happens.
It was happening real time and whatever. Also, not to I'm just bringing this all stuff because you asked. I was also at the Overwatch League Grand Finals, like in Philly, and I'm sitting front row watching this thing. It's a sold out arena in the Wells Fargo Center, and Katie Couric interviews me up front. I didn't even know it was Katie Couric, and she's like,
"What?"
She's like, "Why are you here?" I said, "Look behind you. Look behind me. There are 35,000 people all here for one match of freaking Overwatch, right? And these are all my friends. This is our community right here, right now, kind of." But anyway, last thing on Evo. Like I got like I said out loud, whoever sold whoever sold the Chipotle campaign to Evo, it should get a raise and a promotion, because
That was sick. That song that they would play for the Chipotle.
Yeah. And like every time it came on the stage, they were chanting in the crowd, Chipotle, Chipotle, whatever.
Marketing genius of the year.
Yeah, I was like, who did this? And like, it's actually Chris Mann from Revolution, and that's in Chicago. So I found that out, and then I got to meet him, and he connected with the community and everything. So for me, it's like it was surreal that like everyone's chanting Chipotle in the crowd, and then they're doing the lights and stuff like that, because it's just like this is where it's gotten to. It is a spectacle. It is a sight to behold, and you want to be there and see it, kind of deal. And so I was very happy to do that. I was very happy to be part of Tano and RTS and everybody that was part of that show. And yeah, and it's just going to get even bigger. So it's at the convention center this year, and I'm going to be a part of that show this year. And I can't wait. I don't know how much bigger can it get? Like how much more can we do? Right? This is our Super Bowl. Like Evo is our Super Bowl. This is our the thing you look forward to every single year. Nothing comes close to it or whatever. And this is from a guy that, like I said, I've worked in events and hospitality. I've been a part of very large, 200,000 person events and stuff like that. Anime Expo, nothing compares to it. I'm just sitting there. I am enthralled. I'm catching up with every moment, and like the normies, the people that don't even know about. Everyone's got a Pocket Ryu character in Street Fighter, right? So when you see it on the screen, you know exactly what's going on, and it was just amazing. So
that's fantastic. Well, it's been an absolute pleasure getting to know you. We'll definitely have to connect.
Yeah, for sure.
If you can get me to Evo somehow, I would love to go.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, that is fantastic. I'm so excited for all you do. And I hope that everything we were just talking about today comes to fruition.
Absolutely.
It's so close. And when it does, I will see you there, my friend.
Yeah, I will be first in line. I'll talk to you soon, man. Thank you so much.
Thank you.